Hello crafty friends, welcome to another Step Up Your Stenciling video. As we're nearing the end of the month, I thought I would combine quite a few different stenciling techniques on one card. So I have here a piece of Tim Holtz watercolour cardstock, and I'm using this one because I want to do some ink blending with my Catherine Pooler inks, and I find they blend really nicely on watercolour or mixed media paper. I also have a damask type stencil, one of my all-time favourite patterns. I think this is an old Stampin' Up stencil. And I've used washi tape to stick the card to the stencil so that it doesn't shift around. So for technique number one, we're going to do a bit of ombre ink blending stenciling. So first I took It's a Girl Catherine Pooler ink, a nice pale pink, and blended that across the top of my panel. I then added a little bit of extra darkness with quartz. Then I went into Apricot, which is a pale muted orange, and I tried to get a nice soft blend where the colours met. And for my third and final colour, I used Tiara. It's quite a bold yellow, but it went well with these colours. Now just added ink until I felt that my colour was saturated enough and my blends were smooth enough. So that's ombre ink blending through a stencil. For my next technique, I wanted to do some letterpress or faux letterpress. So I took my panel and stencil off my grip mat and eased the washi tape away from the stencil just on one side of the card, leaving the other strip of washi tape to act as a hinge. And I flapped my panel away from the underside of the stencil and added minted Catherine Pooler ink, which is a lovely pale green, to the underside of my stencil. So first of all I smooshed the ink pad down, then I smoothed it out with a blending brush, and then I added some more ink. It's really hard to see if you've got enough ink on your stencil, but giving it a couple of applications should cover any gaps. Next I flapped my panel back and adhered that other bit of washi tape again. And because I did the hinge thing, everything is still in the same place. I then ran the stencil cardstock combo through my die cutting machine to dry emboss the cardstock and to transfer that green ink onto the background of my stenciled image. Before removing my stencil, I did technique number 3, which was spritzing through a stencil. So I used my white pearl shimmer spray and sprayed that on to the exposed area. And once I'd finished with the shimmer spray, I removed the cardstock from the stencil and gave it a really good dry with my hairdryer. And hopefully you can see some of that shimmer and some of that raised texture, as well as the ombre stenciling and the green letter pressing. I didn't want to squish the dry embossing that I'd just done, so I didn't die cut out my panel. I decided to trimmer cut it and then use tape runner to adhere the panel to some black cardstock. I then used my guillotine again to cut that down to give it a thin black border. To bevel the edges of the cardstock, I ran round it with my embossing tool. This just curves the edges over and gives them a die cut look. Looks a bit more elegant. Right, we're on to technique number 4, and that is masking. I've got a piece of masking paper here, and I've just stenciled one of the elements of the pattern in green ink. That's neither here or there because I'm just looking to create a mask. I just wanted to transfer the shape. I drew a line bang down the middle and then traced 1/2 of the shape, folded my masking paper in half down that line of symmetry, and then used my scissors to cut out that piece of the image. I didn't want the inside bit, I wanted the outside bit. I managed to rip this as I pulled it off the release paper. That wasn't intentional, but it didn't matter because I could stick it down and cover any gaps. And that's what I did. I stuck the masking paper over that pattern in my stencil to mask the area around it, exposing just that one element of the pattern. And then I put my stencil back over my panel, and I used flitter glue from Indigo Blue. This is a glue that dries tacky. And I popped some on a sponge dauber and sponged it through the stencil over that exposed area. So I'm only getting flitter glue on that one piece of the pattern. Of course, you can put anything you like through the stencil with masking. You could add more ink, you could do more spritzing, you could put texture paste through. The world's your oyster, really. But I decided to do technique number 5, and that is gilding. So I gave the glue just 30 seconds to go tacky, and I put some gilding flakes on top. And to get rid of the excess gilding flakes, I used a little sponge and gently burnished those gilding flakes down onto the glue and brushed the excess away. For my sentiment, I wanted to add something black, but nothing too big that would cover up too much of the work that I'd already done. So I cut a very skinny, scripty congrats from black glitter cardstock. I added white glue to the back of it with my glue dotter and then placed it a third of the way down from the top over the gilded pattern. So that's 5 techniques on one card. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's given you a few ideas. If it has, please do let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I'll see you back here in a couple of days for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.